This is a short film about copywriting. In this media age, there are still many who don't know what a copywriter does. So let's start by clearing that up. A copywriter is not a patent lawyer, is not a Lloyd's name. He's someone who writes advertisements, sales literature, and all kinds of publicity material.
We're the ones that scream at you from billboards, whisper seductively from the pages of glossy magazines, and most memorably, create those catchy slogans that stick in the mind like burrs.
So now you know who to blame, or if you happen to be in business, who to come to make yours a household name. So how's it done? What's the secret of successful copywriting? There's no magical formula, but there is a logical one, and it goes something like this.
Audience, message, action. Ask yourself who your audience is. Housewife, youth, senior citizen. Don't think of markets, think of individuals. Then think of the message or promise you want to make to them. Ask yourself, what's in it for them? And finally, decide what action you want them to take. Be specific. Closing the sale is all important.
Ideally, think of someone you know who fits the customer profile, maybe even your own partner, and ask yourself what you would say to them to get them to buy this product or service. As many of us had cause to know, you don't get anywhere by talking twaddle to your wife.
The next useful formula is quality, service, value. All successful copywriting promises customers one or more of these three benefits. It never just says, here it is, come and get it. It says you want this because it is the best, because it'll save you time, and because it'll save you money. Now the thing is, anyone can claim that, but how do you make the claim believable? This is the really creative part of being a copywriter. Take quality for example. Don't just say it's a quality product. Say it washes whiter, contains no artificial ingredients, or that it's craftsman made. This famous ad for Rolls-Royce makes the claim that at 60 miles an hour, the loudest noise comes from the electric clock. Now isn't that much more convincing than simply saying this is a quality car? It makes the promise, and more importantly, substantiates the claim. Or take service. Don't just say you offer a great service. Promise them same-day delivery, or a 1-hour service, or even better, offer to do the job while they wait. Arvis, the car hire firm, once ran an ad in which they gave out the telephone number of their managing director and invited customers to call him direct with their complaints. Now that's really putting your money where your mouth is. Or take value for money. Don't just say we offer terrific value. Promise them more miles per gallon, a better return on their investment, or a good old-fashioned discount. For as long as I can remember, John Lewis has had the slogan, never knowingly undersold. It's a promise that carries conviction because their customers can always take them up on it.
All of this we call benefit selling, and it's the copywriter's job to identify the benefit or benefits and headline them. But what if there are no benefits or nothing very much to distinguish your product or service from its rivals? Or maybe there's not that much of a market for it. That's when you've got to get really creative.
How, for example, would you go about selling refrigerators to Eskimos? This is one of the tests that J. Walter Thompson used to set trainee copywriters. It's a challenge, but not impossible. I mean, who would have thought 20 years ago that you'd get Britons to serve bottled water at the table or get men to buy cologne for themselves?
So, how do we go about selling fridges to Eskimos? We've talked about the importance of knowing your customer, but in this instance it's just as important to know your product. A refrigerator essentially is not very different from a thermos flask. It's a sealed unit, and as such it can keep things at a constant temperature whatever the surrounding climate, which makes it a lot more versatile than pack ice. Do you feel a slogan coming on? How about...
Or how about...
So you see how it works. If you do your homework on your customer and on your product, creative solutions almost suggest themselves. But it's a big if, because creativity, and that includes copywriting, is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. That's the price you pay for writing great ads. Remember that next time you brief a copywriter, or dare I say it, sit down to write a slogan yourself.